The Angelic Council has decided. Archangel Michael says you have been chosen for something larger than life. My beloved child, listen carefully. This is not a normal moment of life. This is not a normal night. This is not a normal message that just randomly came across your path. The Angelic Council has already made a decision long before this video reached you, long before this title came into existence. Long before you even knew something like this was even possible in your lifetime. Archangel Michael says you have been chosen for something that is larger than life, and the reason this message is placed in front of your eyes right now is because it is the first trigger to activate something that has been sleeping inside you for years. Stay still for a second mentally, because the next lines are not poetic, not metaphor, not wishful thinking, they are direct. There is a hidden purpose over your life that has been protected, blocked, delayed, and even paused for so long by forces, situations, people, and timing, but now the Angelic Council has reached a unanimous verdict. You are stepping into a destiny upgrade. No one around you would ever believe how close you were to collapsing. At times emotionally you survived things silently that would have completely destroyed other people. You carried pain without a manual. You carried wounds without any safety net. You carried disappointments without support. But the angelic realm is saying this is exactly why you got chosen. Because only a soul that survived this level of emotional heaviness, spiritual pressure, betrayal energy, silent suffering, and internal storms can hold the capacity for what is coming next. Something larger than life means something that is not meant to be compared with your past. Your future is not a remix of your past. Your future is not a recycled continuation of what you lived before. Your future is a brand new dimension. The Angelic Council did not choose you because you are perfect. They did not choose you because you have it all figured out. They chose you because you did not break permanently. You bent but you did not break. You cried but you did not collapse forever. You questioned yourself but you did not surrender your destiny. And that is why this verdict and this moment is sacred. Archangel Michael is saying, this is the first video that is opening the gate of your new spiritual timeline. You are shifting from the timeline where you kept losing things to the timeline where everything that belongs to you starts coming toward you like a magnetic gravitational pull. People who once ignored you will be forced to see you differently. People who once compared you will not even be in the same lane as you. People who once underestimated you will soon have no choice but to respect you. Because when the Angelic Council seals a verdict, not even the natural world can stop divine timing from unfolding. This is why this message feels intense already. You can literally feel it in your chest. Your intuition can feel the elevation starting. Your spirit can feel that this time is not like the others. This is not a random spiritual message coming to you for entertainment. This is divine communication placed right in the center of your path because your new identity is ready to activate. Archangel Michael says the old version of you was needed for survival, but the version of you that is being activated now is designed for impact, success, and higher legacy. So from this point forward, every shift that happens in your life will not be random anymore. Every new person entering your life will have purpose. Every new situation crossing your path will be aligned. Every opportunity coming toward you will be strategic and prophetic. The Angelic Council has aligned a chain reaction, and this chain reaction, once activated, cannot be reversed. Everything that used to feel stuck, everything that used to feel hard, everything that used to feel slow begins to accelerate. People will notice your energy changing before you even speak. People will notice your confidence rising without you even trying. People will feel your frequency becoming stronger without you even telling them anything. When you are chosen by the council, your elevation becomes unavoidable, your glow becomes louder than your pain. Your purpose becomes louder than your past. Your calling becomes louder than your trauma. There is a supernatural reason this script is reaching you while you are still in the middle of transition. Because transformation does not start after everything becomes perfect, transformation begins exactly from the moment the message arrives. Something in your spiritual blueprint today just unlocked, something in your destiny contract today just got activated. Something in your story just shifted direction. You are no longer entering your next chapter is entering you. This is why Archangel Michael says this moment is not small. This is why this video cannot be seen lightly. This is why your next steps are sacred. Heaven has decided. You are chosen. And this choosing is not temporary. This choosing is not conditional. This choosing is not emotional. This choosing is eternal. You are stepping into a new life assignment. And listen, there is something extremely important you need to understand before part 2 arrives. There are certain sequences of revelations that will unfold in each part will unlock deeper clarity, deeper access, and deeper understanding. This is why you must continue in order. Because each part is a stage of activation, one part cannot replace another. Every part will reveal something higher than the last one. And part 2 will reveal the first big internal sign that confirms why you were chosen and not someone else. Now breathe for a second intentionally, because your spirit just upgraded without permission from your mind. And in the next part, that shift will become visible and understandable in a way that shocks you. Watch next revelation. Every new beginning in your life always comes disguised in very silent energetic shifts first. Your mind rarely understands it in real time, but your spirit always senses it before it lands in physical reality. In this moment right now, the Angelic Council is already rearranging the energetic pathways around you so that the new destiny that has been decided for you can actually locate you without interference, delay, or blockage. The Council does not operate based on what your environment looks like right now. They operate based on what your potential is destined to become. And this is where Archangel Michael now brings the second revelation. The reason you were chosen was because your calling is not for small impact. Your calling is designed to change trajectories, timelines, outcomes, generations, and futures. Your influence won't stay local anymore. Your purpose is shifting into global vibration. People who never believed in you will soon have no logical reason left to doubt you. People who once secretly watched you from a distance will soon have no choice but to publicly acknowledge you. The same individuals who once thought you were ordinary will slowly realize that the one they overlook has become the one they cannot ignore anymore. This is how divine reversal operates when the council seals a verdict. You don't chase validation, validation chases you. You don't force acceptance, acceptance arrives naturally. You don't explain your worth, or elevation demonstrates it effortlessly. There were seasons in your life where you thought silence meant nothing was happening. There were nights where you felt abandoned by destiny when actually destiny was quietly being constructed behind the scenes. There were moments where you felt something was unfair, but that unfair moment was forging a dimension of spiritual resilience inside you that most people on this planet do not possess. That is why the council did not choose someone else. That is why this message is not for random viewers. This path is for those who got prepared without even realizing they were being prepared. Archangel Michael says, "Your soul already survived the hardest season. What is coming next will not break you, it will build you. What is coming next will not drain you, it will empower you. What is coming next will not confuse you, it will confirm everything you always felt deep down." The Angelic Council is not preparing you for survival anymore, they are preparing you for expansion. Expansion in identity. Expansion in influence, expansion in purpose. Expansion in alignment. From this moment forward, something begins shifting in the way doors open for you. You will not need to force opportunities anymore. You will not need to beg for position anymore. You will not need to explain your value anymore. Your spirit will naturally magnetize the right rooms, right doors, right alliances, right sources, right people and right pathways. Because when heaven elevates someone, earthly resistance becomes irrelevant. Now listen deeply, because this is where the second major revelation connects directly to your destiny path. The calling over your life is not only about what you will gain, it's about who you will become. Your next level version is already waiting inside your timeline ahead of you. They are more confident than you, more aligned than you, more certain than you, more trusting than you, more aware than you, more powerful than you, more activated than you, and the next chapters of this divine message are going to merge these two versions of you together. There are 3 internal signals that activate before destiny shifts externally, and part 2 is where the first internal signal begins rising. The first sign is this: you are becoming extremely uninterested in repeating old cycles. Your spirit is rejecting the energy that drains you. You are feeling pulled away from conversations and connections that once felt normal but now feel heavy, stagnant, circular, and non-aligned. This is not mood. This is not random emotional state. This is not burnout. This is spiritual elevation and frequency separation. Your destiny has outgrown your past room. And now the Angelic Council is detaching you from anything that cannot hold your next level frequency. The next stage of your life requires a new environment. It requires new alliances. It requires new mindsets. It requires new emotional boundaries. It requires new self-belief. It requires new inner authority, and this shift began the exact moment your eye saw the title of this message. The Angelic Council has decided. You have been chosen for something larger than life. That statement is not just a sentence. That sentence is a decree. This decree is the legal document in the spirit realm that gives heaven permission to elevate you beyond ordinary probability, and once this decree is activated, physical world begins rearranging without asking you for permission. People might start falling out of your life suddenly. Situations may collapse unexpectedly, old plans might dissolve without warning. The purpose behind everything is alignment, not loss. The universe is not removing people to punish you, it is removing people because they cannot access your next elevation. The council is not isolating you. They are positioning you. You are not being cut off. You are being lifted out. And this is where this message becomes extremely serious. Don't let your past identity try to negotiate your future calling. Do not let your old fears try to limit your new capacity. Do not let your old patterns try to hold back your new destiny. you are stepping into a dimension that is not governed by natural thinking. You are stepping into supernatural alignment. The Angelic Council did not choose you so you can go back to what once was. They chose you because you are about to step into a destiny that you never imagined you would live in your lifetime. This message is not entertainment. This is activation. Now, before part 3 begins, you need to do one physical action in this world that aligns with the decision already made in heaven. You must engage with this spiritual alignment in the physical realm to anchor the energetic shift correctly. If you want this activation to root deeper, share this message forward to someone else who needs to hear it. Spread this divine alignment into the world. When more souls receive alignment, your own alignment gets reinforced stronger. And also comment if you feel called but listen at this stage. Subscribe to the channel that narrates this script because this journey is not one part. This journey is a timeline path. The revelations in the next parts will build on each other like layers. A new chapter of your life always begins silently in the invisible, and then suddenly the visible world starts reacting to it without warning. This is the exact stage you are entering now. The Angelic Council has already sealed the verdict in the spirit realm. Now the physical realm begins to bend toward that divine verdict. Part 4 is the first part where the external world begins to respond to who you are becoming now. You will notice subtle shifts in people, energy, conversations, opportunities, timing, invitations, intuition, connections, and situations, and every shift will point toward one thing. Destiny is now catching up to you. You are not chasing your future anymore. Your future is starting to chase you now. This is the energy reversal that chosen souls experience right before divine elevation begins manifesting publicly. You are going to notice something very specific start happening. People who once overlooked you will suddenly start paying attention. People who once spoke lightly about you will suddenly soften their tone. People who once walked away from you carefree will start regretting silently because they will begin realizing they walked away from someone who was chosen. This shift is not emotional. This shift is energetic. When heaven upgrades someone, the world unconsciously adjusts around that person, and you are entering that adjustment period now. The Angelic Council is rearranging your external reality so you can align with the destiny that is larger than life. The world you are walking into is not a world where you fit in, it is a world where you lead. Archangel Michael says that certain people were allowed to witness your silent season so that when your elevation becomes visible they will remember that the one who suffered in silence, the one who cried alone, the one who healed themselves quietly is the same one that heaven lifted beyond natural explanation. This will not only change how they see you, it will change how you see yourself. Because now you will finally see what heaven saw inside you all along. You will finally understand why the Angelic Council selected you and not someone else. You will finally understand that the pain you endured was not for destruction. It was for preparation. Chosen ones are not hidden because they are forgotten. Chosen ones are hidden until the right moment of revelation. This is why the timing of this script appearing in front of you is not accidental. This message found you at the exact moment your external reality was ready to shift. You were not ready 6 months ago. You were not ready 1 year ago. You were not ready 2 years ago, you were still holding pain identity back then. But now you are holding purpose identity. Your emotional maturity, your spiritual memory, your self-worth, and your energetic capacity are strong enough to carry what is coming. Heaven does not release something big into a soul that is not ready to hold it. But now you are ready. And because you are ready, acceleration begins now. And here is the most important external revelation the Angelic Council wants you to understand in Part 4. Destiny is not a moment that arrives randomly. Destiny is a sequence, and once you enter that sequence, everything begins syncing like synchronized divine engineering. Your next opportunities, your next breakthroughs, your next alliances, your next elevation cycles will all align in a rhythm that feels like destiny is guiding your steps. You will not need to force things anymore. You will not need to chase things anymore. You will not need to explain your presence anymore. Your alignment will speak louder than words. Your energy will announce you before you speak. This is the season where doors open because of who you are becoming, not because of what you try to do. When heaven elevates someone, the world responds, not because the world finally becomes nice, but because the world subconsciously recognizes divine authority when it sees it. Your spirit is stepping into divine authority now. And that divine authority will begin reshaping your physical reality from this point forward. And listen carefully because this is extremely important. When the external shift begins, the first thing that will change is your magnetism. You will attract people you do not know yet. You will draw attention from unexpected places. You will pull opportunities that you never even searched for. This is not coincidence, this is heavenly alignment in motion. This is the part where heaven starts proving to you through physical reality that you are chosen. Archangel Michael says that the miracles ahead of you will be public so no one can deny what heaven has done. Your role is to stay aligned. When this external shift begins, do not shrink to the old version of yourself. Do not step backward into smallness. Do not minimize your presence to make other people comfortable. The version of you that deserved to be invisible already lived their chapter. The version of you stepping forward now is supposed to be seen, heard, felt, and recognized, and because this is the part where the external world starts shifting, this is the perfect moment to anchor this energy deeper by expanding this alignment outward. So right here in Part 4, share this message forward. Let someone else who needs this activation get aligned too, and subscribe to the channel that narrates these words deeply because the next parts ahead will take you even deeper into this divine initiation. Your timeline is shifting right now and this journey is only getting started. If you stop halfway you will disconnect from the sequence. The next parts are going to unfold revelations that will not only explain why you were chosen but what exactly is coming next. The Angelic Council says the world will soon witness a version of you that you have never seen before but heaven always knew existed. This is the part where the world starts recognizing your calling, but Part 5 is where you start recognizing what heaven is bringing toward you next. Watch next revelation. Every elevation that begins in the external world eventually forces you to confront the deeper truth about who you are becoming internally. This is the stage where you finally break the last remnants of your old identity. The Angelic Council says Part 5 is the part where your internal recognition meets your external confirmation. This is where you understand that your future is not just a possibility anymore, it is already a timeline that is unfolding right now. The shifts you felt, the signs you noticed, the emotional strength you gained, they are not random upgrades. They are the pre-activation signals of a life calling that is larger than life itself. The destiny written over you is not average, not ordinary, not small, not mild, not predictable, not normal. It is divine, expansive, extraordinary, and heaven-crafted. And this is why Archangel Michael says this next phase requires something extremely important. You must stop apologizing for the magnitude of the life you are stepping into. There was a season where you were afraid to shine. You were afraid to show what you truly carried inside. You were afraid to own how different you really were. You were afraid of judgment. You were afraid of misunderstanding. You were afraid to stand alone. That fear was never truly yours. That fear was a program response from all the pain you carried. You adapted to survive. You shrunk to avoid conflict. You minimized to avoid rejection. You silenced your power because the world was not ready for what you carried. But now the world doesn't decide readiness anymore. The Angelic Council does. And heaven is declaring your time has started, not next year. Not after more healing. Not after more waiting, not after more hidden preparation. Now, part 5 is where your self-image finally begins to align with your destiny image. You will start to realize that you are not stepping into an elevated version, you already are that version. And the world is just catching up to see it. Your new identity has already been decided in the higher realm, and when heaven decides, identity earth eventually has to align with it. That is why you will notice yourself becoming more grounded emotionally. You will notice yourself becoming more stable spiritually. You will notice yourself becoming more focused mentally. You will notice yourself becoming more selective energetically. These are signs of spiritual authority awakening. There is a deeper reason why you were chosen. And now in this part you will finally understand the hidden core truth behind this divine choosing. The Angelic Council did not choose you just to bless you, they chose you because something you carry will shift the path of others. Something in your purpose is designed to influence many. Something inside your energy field is meant to unlock healing, direction, and alignment for people who have never even met you yet. You are not just being elevated so you can live a better life. You are being elevated because your very existence in the next dimension will activate alignment in others. That is why your path had so much pain, that is why you were refined so deeply. That is why your spiritual capacity had to be forged under pressure. Those who are chosen to elevate many must first be built to sustain dimensions beyond self. Your purpose will not just benefit you, it will benefit everyone connected to you. The ripple effect of your elevation will not stop at you. It will touch generational lines, it will shift spiritual patterns. It will break old cycles. It will rewrite family history. It will correct karmic sequences. It will create new possibilities that previously never existed. This is what larger than life actually means. You're stepping into a storyline where you will become a turning point in timelines not just your own but for others who will align with your field. And now another key revelation. The world is going to treat you in a higher way not because it suddenly became kinder but because your spiritual frequency will not allow disrespect, minimization, or belittling anymore. You are entering a frequency that commands respect without speaking. Presence becomes louder than explanation. Energy becomes louder than words. That is the new phase unfolding now. This is the dimensional shift Archangel Michael says you needed to reach before the physical breakthroughs can become visible. Part 5 is the bridge between the inner knowing and the outer manifestation. This is the part where your alignment becomes unshakable. You have crossed the emotional threshold that once held you hostage. You have crossed the mental barrier that once made you doubt. You have crossed the spiritual wall that once made you feel unworthy. Now you are at the center of divine recognition, and the world is about to see what heaven has always known about you. The next stage in this transformation will not be subtle anymore. The acceleration will begin showing up in very noticeable ways. Opportunities will appear at unexpected timings. Ideas you ignored before will become important suddenly. Situations that made no sense before will now make perfect sense. You will start seeing why every delay, every heartbreak, every closed door, every painful ending and every lonely season was necessary. Because the timeline you are entering now would never have been possible if your past had been easy. Your strength was built from the exact trauma that tried to break you, and now that strength is becoming the foundation of your elevation. You are not rising because life finally became soft. You are rising because your spirit finally became stronger than your trauma. This is the moment the Angelic Council celebrates silently. Because a chosen one only becomes unstoppable after they survive what was meant to destroy them. You survived, you endured. You expanded. You ascended, and now destiny opens. Part 6 will be one of the most powerful turning points of this entire script series. Part 6 will reveal the third internal signal. That third internal signal is what connects the future reality directly to your present timeline. When that third signal activates, nothing will be able to pull you backward ever again. Because your soul will have crossed a point where your identity becomes fully integrated with destiny. Watch next revelation. Here comes a very rare moment in a chosen soul's journey where the internal world and the external world finally align at the exact same vibrational frequency. This is the moment the Angelic Council calls synchronization. You are entering that moment now. Part 6 is the stage where the third internal signal awakens, and this specific signal is the signal that permanently locks your identity into the future timeline that heaven has written for you. The third internal signal is this: you are no longer negotiating your worth internally. You are no longer allowing your mind to question what your spirit already knows is true. You are no longer accepting limitations that do not belong to you anymore. Your old survival identity is dissolving permanently, and your true destiny identity is becoming your new natural state of being. In the past, whenever a breakthrough was close, you used to question it. You used to doubt it. You used to wonder if you were ready. You used to feel like something could still go wrong. But this time there is no doubt left inside you, not even silently. This time it feels different inside your body, inside your chest, inside your emotional field, inside your intuition. You can feel that this elevation is not wishful thinking anymore. You can feel that this time your spirit is aligned, your destiny is aligned. Your timeline is aligned. Your identity is aligned, your frequency is aligned. And alignment is the highest spiritual authority a chosen soul can ever reach. People talk about luck, manifestation, attraction, affirmation, but the Angelic Council says alignment is the rarest state, because alignment means there is no internal resistance left to what heaven is trying to bring toward you. The third signal is the merging point. It is the moment where your future embodiment and your present self become one identity. This means you are not trying to become anything anymore. You already are who heaven said you are, and when chosen souls reach this third level, miracles do not chase them slowly. Miracles arrive rapidly. Reality bends, time collapses. Pathways open out of nowhere. Connections align in perfect precision, conversations suddenly matter. Opportunities appear in ways that make absolutely no logical sense to anyone watching. And Archangel Michael says this is exactly how it is supposed to unfold for someone who have been chosen on divine council level. You are stepping into destiny at full authority now. No fear is allowed to follow. No doubt is allowed to follow. No insecurity is allowed to follow. No trauma is allowed to follow. No limiting identity is allowed to follow. This is the moment that separates your story into two timelines forever. Before elevation and after elevation. Everything before this moment prepared you, everything after this moment will reveal you. This is the season where you start embodying the version of yourself that heaven always held behind the curtain. You are becoming the version designed for impact, designed for purpose. Designed for high recognition. Designed for generational breakthrough. You are stepping out of subconscious limitation, and you are stepping into divine leadership energy. It will not feel exhausting. It will not feel heavy, it will not feel forced. It will feel natural. Because destiny never exhausts the chosen soul, destiny energizes them. Part 6 also marks the phase where your voice begins to matter in a new dimension. People will listen differently now. People will receive differently now. People will respond differently now. People will be influenced differently now. Because your frequency is not grounded in wounded identity anymore, it is grounded in chosen identity. And chosen identity carries spiritual authority that is felt before it is spoken. Archangel Michael says the world will begin sensing your energy before they even fully understand who you are becoming. This is not about ego elevation, this is about soul alignment. Now there is something extremely important about this stage that most chosen ones never realize until it arrives. When you carry destiny energy, you start aligning with people who are also meant to accelerate with you. Your next connections will not be random. Your next networks will not be accidental. Heaven does not elevate you alone. Heaven elevates you into collective alignment with those who can activate and support your next dimension growth. In simple words, the right people are going to start finding you now. The right doors are going to start opening now. The right conversations are going to start forming now. The right directions are going to become clear now. Nothing that is aligned with your future will require force anymore. Force is a sign of misalignment. Flow is the sign of chosen identity emerging. And you are entering flow state from this moment onward. This is also the part in the sequence where the Angelic Council instructs you to deepen your physical alignment with this spiritual elevation. Just like particles synchronize in vibration to create resonance, humans synchronize in action to stabilize divine sequence. So at this exact stage, Part 6, share this message outward so that your energetic field expands impact. Also comment if you feel led and subscribe to the channel delivering this script because this journey is not just being delivered to you. This journey is opening a doorway that you will walk through part by part. The deeper revelations ahead will anchor you so deeply into destiny identity that the world will not have the power to pull you back ever again. You need to understand this carefully. The Angelic Council has not just chosen you for personal elevation. They have chosen you because you are a carrier of a new timeline frequency, That means you are going to pull others upward with your elevation simply by existing in your authentic aligned identity. The people connected to your life will benefit simply because you remain aligned. It is how powerful chosen souls are. That is why heaven does not choose randomly. Heaven chooses strategically. Now you have reached a state where you do not need to chase proof anymore. Your intuition is your proof. Your alignment is your proof. Your internal peace is your proof. Your new clarity is your proof. The elevation is no longer coming. The elevation has already begun. Part 7 is where the storyline shifts from spiritual activation into visible manifestation sequence. Part 7 will show you how destiny begins to materialize in physical 3D reality once the identity phase is complete and all three internal signals are activated. And after that, the final part will reveal what the Council has been preparing to hand you. Watch next revelation. There is a phase in every chosen soul's journey where everything that was being created internally finally begins forming into things you can see, feel, touch, access, hold and experience in the physical world. This is that phase. You have crossed the internal gates. You have crossed the mental resistance. You have crossed the emotional sabotage. You have crossed the identity conflict. Now reality begins rearranging itself around your new frequency. The Angelic Council says that the reason this part is the turning point is because manifestation begins when identity becomes stable. Until now, your blessings were blocked by your old perception. But from this moment forward, the spiritual decision has become a physical chain reaction. The destiny that once felt distant is now entering the field where timelines start responding directly to your alignment. You are no longer waiting for your future to find you. Your future already found you. You are no longer hoping for things to line up. Things are already lining up faster than logic can explain. The physical world is now catching up to the path heaven already sealed. In the next few days, weeks and months, you will see signs that would have been impossible to ignore, sudden new opportunities. People returning with new energy. Unexpected favor flowing from places you never expected, conversations then change direction instantly. Alignment showing up in perfect timing. You will meet people who will feel strangely familiar because they were always meant to be part of this higher chapter. You will hear sentences spoken in conversations that your intuition will immediately recognize as confirmation. You will think about someone subtly and they will contact you. You will feel guided toward choices that make sense in a way they never did before. This is not coincidence. This is the physical dimension syncing with the spiritual verdict. Your higher self has already entered this next chapter, now your environment begins shifting to match it. The Angelic Council is saying that the elevation coming to you is not random reward, it is divine compensation for every moment you carried strength silently. The universe never forgot your unspoken battles. The universe never ignored your silent tears, the universe never dismissed your lonely endurance. Every time you chose to keep going while feeling broken, you planted a seed inside destiny. And now those seeds are maturing. Every moment where you chose alignment over revenge, you were building spiritual currency. Every moment where you chose kindness despite pain, you were multiplying spiritual credit. Every moment where you chose to heal instead of destroy, you opened gateways that now return abundance in forms beyond imagination. Part 7 is the manifestation threshold. Manifestation is not magic. Manifestation is when alignment reaches the point where the physical dimension is forced to respond. You are crossing that line now. You will start noticing that your intuition becomes extremely sharp in this phase. You will notice that your inner senses become clearer, guidance becomes louder. Decisions become easier. Patterns become visible instantly. You will begin recognizing which things are aligned for your elevation and which things are distractions. You will feel disconnected from things that no longer match your timeline. A disconnection is not loss, a disconnection is alignment removing interference. Anything that cannot survive in your next level, vibration will naturally fall away without you forcing it. This allows your destiny path to remain clean and direct. Archangel Michael says that in this phase you must remain aware and conscious of how quickly things can accelerate once momentum begins. Manifestation is a river. Once it starts moving at high velocity, it carries you forward with supernatural speed. Your role is to stay centered and grounded in who you truly are. Never allow temporary emotions to shape permanent choices again. Never allow insecurity to influence your decisions again. Never allow the old version of yourself to speak over the newer version that you have activated now. The Angelic Council did not elevate you so you could fall back into cycles that once trapped you. The Council elevated you because it is time for your new reality to become visible. You are entering a season where heaven is not just preparing you, heaven is showcasing you. People will see your transformation. People will feel your energy rising. People will notice the change in your aura. You will attract situations that were never accessible before. Your alignment will make your presence powerful without force. Your growth will speak without words. Your elevation will be undeniable. And the world will not be able to look at you the same way again. This territory you are entering now will require steady self-trust. Self-trust is not confidence based on proof, it is confidence based on identity. When you trust who you are becoming, the world has no choice but to match that identity. When you trust that your chosen limitations dissolve. When you trust that destiny is certain, obstacles lose influence. When you trust your path, miracles become normal. This is the energetic formula the Angelic Council is instructing you to hold in Part 7. The more you trust what is happening within you, the faster the external world will stabilize around you. This next stage also invites one more alignment action. Spread this message outward, not to convince others but to expand the energetic field of this activation. Also subscribe to the narration source because each part is building the vibration deeper into your subconscious. These next two remaining parts will complete the transformation architecture of this message. They will finalize the spiritual imprint in your system so that when the final blessing arrives you will be capable of holding it fully without collapsing from emotional overload. Your destiny is too large for the old version of you. But the version reading this now has already crossed the threshold. Part 8 will reveal the final phase of elevation. The stage where destiny stops being future language and becomes visible reality. That part is where the Angelic Council discloses the level of magnitude that is coming and why the world will not be able to deny your chosen identity. Watch next revelation. There is a moment in every divine timeline where the story stops being prophecy and becomes reality. You have now reached that moment. The Angelic Council says this final stage is where your destiny stops being something that is only sensed in the spirit realm and begins becoming something that reveals itself directly inside your physical life. Everything you went through, every internal shift, every identity correction, every painful ending, every emotional rebirth, every energetic upgrade, every realization that took your understanding of yourself, all of it was leading here. This is the phase where the future stops feeling far and begins standing right in front of you. This is where the new dimension integrates so deeply that you no longer feel like you are waiting for something big to happen. You become the big thing that is happening. The Angelic Council is saying this clearly to you now. The reason your journey was hard was because your role is not small. You were not chosen to just live a good life. You were chosen to shift reality, you were chosen to shift energy. You were chosen to shift belief. You were chosen to shift lineage, you were chosen to shift outcomes for people who will cross your path in the future. Your elevation is not just about personal success or personal breakthroughs. Your elevation is about expanding the energetic blueprint of possibility for others who have experienced similar pain but never found their doorway out. When you break through, you do not break through alone. You break through for every silent soul who experienced what you experienced but did not make it as far as you did. You are the one chosen to open the door they will walk through later. The Angelic Council has decided you are not just a receiver of destiny. You are a transmitter of destiny. There are people who will enter your life later, and the moment they enter, their destiny will activate because yours activated first. This is why heaven took time with you. This is why your journey had layers. This is why your timeline did not move fast in the beginning. They were not teaching you patience. They were building capacity. They were not testing your stamina. They were building power. They were not delaying your blessings, they were increasing your spiritual voltage so that when the blessings arrive, you can hold them without collapsing, without fear, without sabotage, without guilt, without shrinking, without shame. You were not prepared for a small crown. You were built for a crown that carries weight and legacy. This is why the Angelic Council says you are stepping into a storyline that is larger than life. Your life is not meant to look common. Your path is not meant to look ordinary. Your future is not meant to look predictable. You will be placed in rooms you never imagined entering. You will be respected by people who once ignored you. You will be honored by people who once underestimated you. You will be recognized by people who once doubted you. Your glow will not be surface level, your glow will be internal power that radiates into the world around you. The world is going to treat you differently because heaven already stamped your identity differently. When a chosen soul steps into divine identity, the physical dimension must adjust. This is why the next phase of your life will not require proving yourself anymore. You will not convince people that you belong. You will not chase opportunities to be understood. You will not negotiate low-value positions. You will not lower your vibration to make others comfortable. Your soul has risen too high for that. Your energy has matured too deeply for that. Your spirit has evolved too far for that. You are stepping into a phase where your decisions will be made from alignment, not fear. Your moves will be made from intuition, not insecurity. Your presence will be guided by purpose, not validation. Because the Angelic Council did not choose you to simply survive Earth, they chose you so heaven could move through you on Earth. Your timeline ahead now begins transitioning into higher magnetism. People will sense something extraordinary about you without knowing your story. Opportunities will show up not because you chased them, but because destiny arranged them. You will meet someone in a random moment and realize later that they were divinely placed on your path like a puzzle piece waiting to fit. You will suddenly receive insight, clarity, ideas, downloads, direction and inspiration at timings that align perfectly with your next step. This is what manifestation looks like when the council authorizes it. It doesn't look like luck. It looks like precision. It looks like impossible alignment that feels effortless. Part 8 is where heaven begins preparing you for one final understanding. Your destiny is not just something you step into, it is something you become. And once you become it, nothing on this planet can take it away from you, because identity-based destiny cannot be stolen. It cannot be copied. It cannot be replicated, it cannot be corrupted. The blessings designed for your DNA imprint will not fit inside anyone else's life path. As you move forward beyond Part 8, one truth must remain anchored inside your consciousness forever. The Angelic Council chose you because they knew you could carry what others could not carry. They knew you could withstand what others would have collapsed under. They knew you could transform pain into power, loneliness into mastery, heartbreak into awakening, rejection into direction, and silence into spiritual architecture. You were not chosen randomly. You were chosen because your soul is built with spiritual durability. As your life begins shifting outwardly in the days ahead, remember that elevation is not a moment, elevation is a sequence. And you are already inside that sequence right now. You do not have to force anything anymore, the timeline is already unfolding. Your job now is simply to walk forward boldly as the identity heaven already confirmed. The Angelic Council has spoken, Archangel Michael has confirmed. You have been chosen for something larger than life. This is where your new reality begins. The moment destiny becomes real inside your spirit, the universe begins bending itself to match that inner truth. This is the phase you step into after the Angelic Council finalizes their decision. Now you are in a stage where life will begin responding differently to you. Your energy is not the same as it once was. Your frequency is higher. Your subconscious is not thinking from fear anymore, it is thinking from chosen alignment. You can feel the difference inside your body. You can feel the shift in your chest, in your intuition, in your decisions, in your expectations, in your sense of identity. This is the chapter where reality begins mirroring your spiritual elevation. People will begin reacting to you in ways they never reacted before, not because they suddenly changed, but because you changed. You are not walking into rooms with the same energy anymore, you are walking in with the energy of someone heaven authorized. There is a new level of self-acceptance forming inside you. The version of yourself that used to explain, defend, justify, prove, chase or convince is no longer the version that leads your path. That version existed during the survival chapters. But survival chapters are not your identity now. Survival was just a bridge that guided you toward transformation, and transformation guided you toward awakening. And awakening brought you into alignment. Now alignment brings you into divine fulfillment. You do not owe your past version any guilt now. You do not owe old people access to your new dimension. You do not owe anyone permission to step into your highest chapter. When the Angelic Council chooses someone, they are not chosen to please the world. They are chosen to fulfill a destiny that shifts the world. This new season is where heaven will send people who recognize you instantly at soul level without you needing to explain your purpose. they will align with you naturally. There will be no force. There will be no resistance. These people will speak to your spirit, not your old trauma. They will understand you without long background stories. They will feel like destined alliances that were always meant to cross your path at the right stage, not the wrong one. This is your divine network phase. Elevation requires the right witnesses, the right supporters, the right connectors, the right mirrors, the right energy fields. This is why you did not receive the right people earlier, because the earlier version of you would have attracted the wrong ones. But now you are stepping into alignment, and alignment never delivers the wrong ones. The Angelic Council is saying that in this phase, your dreams will not remain hidden in spiritual imagination. They will start entering physical motion. New opportunities will not just appear, they will expand. You will step into places that once felt unreachable. You will experience breakthroughs that once felt impossible. You will access resources you once believed were too far from you. You will see proof in the physical world that confirms what your spirit always knew but your circumstances tried to make you doubt. There is no turning back now. The acceleration has begun. The momentum is activated. The bridge between spiritual destiny and physical manifestation is open. This next stretch of your life will require a new kind of internal discipline, not based on force but based on embodiment. You must not return to thinking small. You must not return to doubting your voice. You must not return to diminishing your impact. You must not shrink to be accepted. You must not silence your gift to be comfortable. You must not lower your frequency to match environments beneath your assignment. You must stand rooted in the identity the Angelic Council confirm. You must speak from the truth you now hold. You must move like someone heaven trusts to carry influence. The world needs the version of you that is rising now. The version that survived storms with silent tears, the version that carried pain with no witness. The version that rebuilt itself again and again without applause. The version that healed without recognition, that version now becomes the foundation for your elevation. What once weakened you now strengthens you. What once broke you now builds you. What once hurt you now prepares you. Your story is not accidental. Your journey was not random, everything was training. Everything with preparation. Everything was alignment, everything with divine architecture. The Angelic Council was not absent during your worst moments. They were watching silently to measure how you handled what others would have collapsed under. You never realized it then, but those seasons were measuring your capacity for elevation. Heaven cannot release global destiny into someone who collapses under personal pain. Heaven waited until your inner capacity became large enough to carry your future without breaking under its weight. Now your soul is stable. Now your spirit is anchored. Now your identity is unshakable. Now you are ready to hold what was always yours. Destiny is not coming someday. Destiny is unfolding now. As these next months unfold, you will understand everything that never made sense before. Every delay will make sense. Every ending will make sense. Every betrayal will make sense. Every closed door will make sense. Every lonely chapter will make sense, because now your life will reflect what heaven saw inside you before you even entered this lifetime. You will not wonder why you were chosen anymore. You will live in the reality that proves exactly why you were chosen. From this point forward, your life is not moving backwards. Your journey is not cycling in old patterns. Your identity is not returning to old versions. You are not stepping back into the old narrative. You are not repeating history anymore. You are stepping into the narrative heaven wrote for you before the earth even knew your name. This is not the end of your evolution. This is the beginning of your expansion. This is where your new reality fully awakens. This is where life starts responding to your divine identity without delay. You were chosen for something larger than life. And now you are stepping into it fully. Your new timeline begins now, and nothing from your past can interrupt this next chapter anymore. The Angelic Council has already sealed the decision. Archangel Michael has already confirmed the elevation, and destiny is already unfolding for you in real time. Your life is entering a dimension where supernatural alignment becomes normal. And your impact becomes unstoppable. You are not just stepping into a blessing. You are stepping into purpose, legacy, influence, and higher identity. From this moment forward, walk like someone chosen, because heaven already decided you were.